What if we stripped away all the names, brands and price tags available from the cameras? Could anyone actually tell a difference? Today I'm going to throw myself into just that test. How hard could it actually be? Alright, let's talk about how this test is going to work. But just before that, I want to run through the cameras I'm going to be using. I've decided to use a range of cameras, starting with more budget-friendly options and moving up that ladder in terms of price. Kicking things off is something that I use every single day: my smartphone. I have the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This is a little bit old now, but outside of like the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, this apparently has some of the best video a smartphone can capture. Next in, we rely on Canon DSLRs around the office for webcams. This is for when we're doing our pre-production meetings on Google Meets and Teams, stuff like that. The ones we actually use are these Canon 200Ds. I think in the US they're known as SL2s, could be wrong there, but the point is this is an entry-level Canon DSLR. Next in line we have our first cinema camera. Whatever that means in today's world, I am not sure. But we are going to use the Blackmagic Pocket 6K. This is the Pro version, but it has the same image quality and sensor as the non-Pro version. This is an intriguing choice as it's really close in price to our next camera, and that is a Panasonic Lumix S5 II. It's important to note that I'm going to be using the same 25mm cine lens across all the cameras using adapters. Next up is not much of a price jump. Again, it is the new full-frame Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K. This has a built-in OLPF, which could be interesting in the test as this should remove some IR pollution, and it is the only camera across the entire lineup that has this filter. Lastly, we're bringing out the big guns. This is the Ursa Mini Pro G2. While it is a little old now, it's still a workhorse of a camera, and it is obviously the most expensive camera in this lineup. So I'm hoping it can still show the little guys who's boss. Now we have all the cameras, let's get into how this test is actually going to work. But right before we do that, please hit the subscribe button below, as if you are into camera tech, I have so much content coming for you this year. So let's get setting up. Let's break down how I'm going to tackle this challenge. I'm going to do two setups, with the first one being an indoor setup, shooting me with this key light right here, coming through the fusion and the grid. And also we're going to get plenty of practicals in the background with some nice shadows in the frame also. We have Will and Ben on board to help out with actual filming and setup. This is because I intentionally don't want to be behind any of the cameras. This is so I don't see any of the exposure and the framing to help me with my guessing. On to the second scenario, and as you can tell, we are outdoors. We want to use natural lighting to give all the cameras a fair choice, as some of the cameras might not fare too well in the darker scenarios with lots of shadows. You might be wondering how I'm going to view this footage without seeing which camera is which. Well, that's where Will come in to save the day, as he is going to put us together and edit, putting a letter in the corner. This way I'll be able to do all my guesses without knowing which camera was which. We're going to finish up here and I'll see you back at my desk. I'm currently in the edit and I've deleted the audio file from this microphone here. So the part you're about to watch for the next couple minutes will be the camera audio, what is much worse. Don't worry, after a few minutes, the microphone comes back in and all is back to normal. Right, back to the video. Right, it's a few days later and I have the edits that Will has put together for us here on my MacBook. I'm going to put his Instagram link in the description below. Make sure to give him a follow, show him some love for making this video possible, and also you'll get to see a lot of the cool DP work he gets up to. I've not watched any of this footage yet, or the edits that Will has done. I'll be seeing them for the first time right now with you. So first up here, we have A. Now my initial impression is this looks quite soft, maybe. Not sure. I'm gonna hold reserve for a guess just yet on this one. Here we are onto B, and this one instantly has much more detail to my eyes. I'm seeing sharpness, got to be one of the Blackmagic cameras here, maybe the Lumix. We've got quite a yellowy greenish tone to the skin tones. I feel like we should be able to remove the smartphone and the Canon DSLR On to C, getting another quite sharp image, or detailed sharpness might be the wrong word. On to D, this is definitely going to be harder than initially anticipated. Looks like a good image. I like what it's doing with the highlights. I want to go straight in and say that might be the Ursa, but I'm going to hold for lock that guess in just yet. Moving on to E, this is definitely the smartphone. This just instantly jumps out. You can see all the artificial sharpening around the eyes and just how it's not got much depth of field at all. So I'm locking my first guess in as E is the smartphone, as for me, I just think it's quite obvious. And we have F. Oh, I think this one actually might be the Ursa. I have two guesses locked in. I've got A as the DSLR Canon and I've got E as the smartphone. Right, I think that B and C are the full frame sensors. So I think they are the S5 II and the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K. I just don't know which order they're in. Right, I'm going C as Panasonic Lumix S5 II and B as Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K. That leaves D and F left. And we have the Ursa G2 and the Pocket 6K. And then I think D has got more detail. I don't know, that's the Ursa. D is the Ursa. The detail, the contrast in the eyes, it's just the way it's dealing with, it looks so real and textured in the face. I'm so sure that that's the Ursa now. So I'm going D as the Ursa and F as Pocket 6K Blackmagic. I'm assuming here with the outdoor stuff that Will has placed them in a different order, but maybe that's a double bluff and they're in the exact same order. So A looks lowish dynamic range, quite soft maybe. I like the colours. And the colours have something. Okay, moving on to B, much more detailed than A. Moving on to C, struggling here. This one seems much harder than the indoor one. It seems much more similar. Maybe just the lighting scenario is easier. Okay, got it instantly. Again, the smartphone is just miles behind. Maybe the iPhone 15 Pro with its less artifact and internal sharpening would have done better here, but it's definitely no competition at the minute. And F has a massive IR pollution. So that is definitely not the new Blackmagic camera. If you remember, I mentioned it as an OLPF filter that eliminates this kind of massive magenta tint. And I think I know which camera this is solely because of using these cameras a lot, and I know which one normally has a big magenta tint. I'm going for the same order on the indoor and outdoor shots. I'm going for A as the Canon DSLR, B as the Blackmagic Cinema Camera Full Frame 6K, C as the Panasonic Lumix S5 II, D as the Ursa Mini Pro, E as my smartphone, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and F as the Pocket 6K Pro. So let's play this second video file. I'm feeling pretty confident that I have them right, but this could be quite embarrassing if I open them up and they're actually miles off. So let's just jump in and find out. So first up, looks like I got A right. It is the Canon 200D. I actually think here that it's obviously got really low dynamic range, it has no log profile, and only 8-bit internal 1080p recording. B is the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K full frame, and again, this matches up with what I guessed. C is the Panasonic Lumix S5 II, and again, I've gone 3 for 3 here. I'm feeling mighty confident here with the remaining ones, but let's just carry on before I count my eggs. So it turns out that D is actually the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro. I originally guessed this was the Ursa, but after watching the outdoor shots and seeing the IR pollution, I re-changed my guess, so kind of got this one wrong, but also got it right after re-evaluating the second set of shots. But if I did not see the outdoor shots, I would definitely have got this one wrong. Moving on to E, as we expected, and it's quite obvious, it is the smartphone. It is really ugly sharp and over-contrasted for me. And that leaves F to be the Ursa Mini G2. I really enjoyed making and creating this video, and I hope that you guessed along and enjoyed watching it also. In fact, if you like this one, I can guarantee you will love this video right here.